Welcome back, everybody, to No Reset. My name's Sarah Avium, and I'll be your host during the Monster Hunter World IceBorne run. May I present FrejasFeather and their co-op teammate, Rainy Day Gamer.
Hey, everybody. So,
hello.
Two things to go over before we launch into the run, which I'll be counting down on quest start. If you guys saw this run earlier at Thunderthon, it is a very different run because literally 3 hours before our run, a new gear set dropped. And it completely changed the route, and updated all of our sets, so this is a brand new route never before seen at a marathon. Hey everybody, good to see you. Timer's going to begin on quest launch to prevent PC loads being different. Are we ready on tech? This run's going to... We good? Alright. Let's do this.
I'm ready for the cooldown.
Alright. Run begins in 3, 2, 1, go. So if you guys haven't seen this run before, this run is RNG the run. Everything from monster health, spawn location, hitboxes. Yes, hitboxes are affected by RNG in this run. And so a lot of what we're going to be doing is minimizing that. Where did Beatoda spawn?
Center.
Okay, he's on center.
Or at least I got drop center. I don't see him.
Yeah, he's on the map center. Okay.
He's going to hot springs.
Okay. So the first thing is RNG is monster spawn. The first thing you notice us doing immediately is calling out each other, kind of to communicate where is the monster, or can we pin the monster down, and where is our damage rotation going to come from. Do you want to touch on the 3 types of spawns? Well, we're doing...
Upon loading into a quest, we can either spawn in the camp we selected, near a point of interest for the game, or near the monster that we're hunting. Optimally, we want to drop near the monster because...
Yeah. No travel time. Yes, actually RNG hitboxes, so monster size affects 3 things about a monster. Its tempo, its AI is its pattern, it'll affect its size, which in turn affects its hitboxes, as well as how much health it has. The worst case scenario being what's called a Gold Crown Large. They're big, they hit very hard, and they have a ton of health compared to their smaller compatriots. About 10% worth of health difference. Got the claw flinch.
Just come to sleep.
Okay.
Just keep whacking.
So a lot of this run's going to be us synchronizing crowd control to try and burst the monster down more quickly. And just remove a lot of that variance. So the big damage attacks that I have going on here, where I jump up in the air and come back down, is called a Helmbreaker. That's where the majority of Longsword burst is going to come from. This weapon I'm using is called Longsword. There are 14 weapons in the game, and all of them are valid. The fastest weapon is HPG, but it's fastest by such a significant margin that it's kind of difficult to call it competitive. Like, it's ridiculously faster. And that's Beatoda's. Right there, less than 2.5 minutes, and the first quest out of 20 is out of the way.
A big thing to know is we'll be capturing the monsters instead of slaying them, because you see the hourglass in the top center? That'll be 60 seconds if we kill it and 20 seconds if we capture it.
Yeah. It's literally a 40-second time loss to mess the capture up. That is the Electrion Longsword. The weapon just comes like that. And the new armor set that my character is wearing is the Halloween special event that started literally 4 hours ago? Yeah, 4 hours ago. So I had to actually go farm that out before the run started so we could have that awesome skin show off on screen. The second thing we're doing is anytime we hit a hub, we're going to have a lot of synchronized action. So I'm going to go ahead and post up Bombro, post a second quest while she's getting you know, her items and her meal stuff together, because she's using a gourmet voucher, which will give us an improved food buff every time it's been used, I'm able to post the quest, she's able to make our meals more powerful, and then both of us are loading the quest at the same time, and we don't have to worry about asynchronous computer strength, which is one of the ways we minimize just loading lag in co-op.
All set.
Cool. So it's one of the ways you can kind of compensate for two different computers being different strengths is splitting the workload. It doesn't matter which way it goes, that's just the way that her and I happen to hammer it out.
Also, I feel like it's important to note that you're not using the Elatrion Longsword.
Yes. I am using the Fatalis Zagaspanen, I think it's called. Which is the newest monster that dropped in IceBorne, which is Fatalis. He is the end boss. He is the true blue end boss. He's a insanely difficult fight, and it took us 7 hours to bring our first one down, and to tell you how brutal he is.
Oh, he spawned right under 5. Oh, you're almost here.
Yeah, I'm almost here.
Face should be wounded by the time you get here.
So
And just let me know when you have time for donations.
yeah, we have one thing to explain, which is wounds, and then if you want to go into donations, that'd be perfect. So, real quick, wounds are you see those little yellow boxes around my damage numbers whenever I hit the monster? Those are wound hits. They do 25% of the 25% additional damage. We'll talk more about it later. But we always try and hit wounded parts because it will give massive damage. And if you want to go over some donations, Rainy and I are just going to keep following this fight out.
Yeah, we have a $50 donation from Celestia Rose that says, "Have a great run, kiddo. I promise not to embarrass you with any crazy chat."
Hey, Mom.
And a $50 donation from Godeke that says, "Good luck, have fun."
That's actually, no joke, my mom and dad. That's awesome. Thank you guys for coming out. That's really cool. So, real talk, one of the things that I love about this fight, and Bombero in particular, is that Bombero is a great learning monster. If you're struggling with beating Monster Hunter World, I suggest you go study Bombero. Because he has a lot of really cool, easy to predict hitboxes, and a lot of really interesting tech you can kind of develop off of him. If you're struggling with parry timing or anything else like that, he is a fabulous learning monster. Give some love for Bombero, the best caribou in monster hunting. Do you want to bring up the Palicos a little bit while we're here?
Oh yeah, it's not just the two of us in this run. We also have our two very lovely cat friends. Her cat Allie is carrying around an entire orchestra with a horn that will give us stat buffs, a drum that will give us immunities, and a gong that will just knock monsters over because it's really loud. And then there's my cat, who is my favorite part about this game. Her name's Hazel, and she carries around flashlight cages, which will use flash bombs on the monsters, shock traps, and explosive traps that will trip the monster.
And we'll talk more about their other functions a little bit later on during the run when you guys get to Velkhana. But Hazel and Allie, or Leia, as you see their names, legitimately pull a lot of weight. If you're typically a solo hunter like me, it's always a little interesting to play with Palicos, but they really do pull their weight. There's a moment later on in the game where, out of, I think it's a 40,000 damage health pool, it does count you use Kiddo, I appreciate it. Out of a 40,000 health pool, Hazel will be doing 3,000 damage just on her own. And that's not counting part break damage, that's just health damage. Which, you know, a little bit less than 10% of the monster's health that we don't have to deal with because Hazel's just over there spewing fireworks everywhere. It's really cool, and they're a huge part of why this run is possible because they are able to bring down a lot of utility and lock a monster down. A running theme for this run is going to be CC is king. I mentioned that hitboxes are RNG, well, so is monster behavior, monster attitude, and so much as, like, it's going to sound weird, but the mood the monster is in is going to affect your fight. If the monster is quick to anger, and likes to do a lot of fast-moving attacks, that will absolutely slow you down, and I got spawned in a not great location.
He's under Wool Cave.
Okay. Yeah, I got thrown up top. I have to run all the way down. So the other thing is, we don't always want a camp spawn, which is the second type of spawn you can get. Spawning at camp sounds great, right? It's a fixed location, you know where it is, yada yada yada. Sometimes that is literally 30 to 40 seconds slower than a monster spawn, if not a minute. So you could just lose time for not getting monster spawns. Once again, random. If you guys have heard of Silent Hill randomness, you've never played Mod Hunt. So, briefly, I just fired a dung pod at Bombero. I love Bombero, but not right now. I'm not in the mood. I don't want him to use funny business. He's just being really loud and obnoxious and getting involved, and it's just... I really wish he wouldn't. So I threw some dung at him to hopefully deter him to not stick around. Viper is the first example of the... keep swinging? Okay. Enemies using status effects. Viper can do paralysis and toxic. There's two stages of poison. There's poison and then toxic. Toxic can just kill you, unironically.
In our PB, this is like the third monster in our PB. It got me below 10% health.
Yeah. I have red.
Go on. Hit it.
And that right there was Rainy's heavy hitting attack, the 1,000 Dragons, which is a big shotgun blast using arrows and these little pods you see us picking up, little red things in the ground. Depending on type of pods, that will actually amplify her damage substantially. Using a little bit of Clutch Claw, which is the big grappling hook hand you see me flying around with. It's a great tool for closing in the monster and losing time. It sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. But if you use it like that to close in the monster, and you can use that even to extend what's called a flinch. Every monster has a certain amount of HP, and if you do enough damage, you'll then be able to flinch the monster and cause them to get knocked back and stunned. And if you grab them with the Clutch Claw, which is that little grappling hook thing you see my character firing off in the weeds, this demon hand, if you grab them with that, you can actually extend that stun and do more damage without having to worry about, am I going to be able to get my whole combo out? It's a full 6-second extension? It's ridiculous. It's long. That was a really clean Viper, yeah. That was really good. So, before we submitted to NoReset, we had a PB that was like 215, then we had a 204, and we're like, oh, sub 2 is kind of possible. Fatalis came out, and we knocked our PB down to a 152. So, our time changed a bit.
Damn it.
Where is the Face of Night? There it is. So one of the most difficult parts of this run is... The Halloween outfits run is awesome, yeah. It just came out like 3 hours ago. The most difficult part of this run, honestly, is menuing. The hunts themselves are definitely a challenge. But you have to remember 20 quests back to back, and those quests can move in the order they are on the board based on what you have completed.
Ready?
Which doesn't sound like much, right? You just complete all the quests and they never move. Wrong. They can in fact move, and it's different every single time. Which is, again, RNG. Yes, even the menus have RNG. No, I am not memeing. I'm 100% serious.
Dune's spawn, I think? Yeah, there she is.
Alright. Nightshade Palomu can inflict sleep. Sleep is terrible. We're all gamers here. We don't like sleep. We like to go fast. Going fast. Huh?
I don't know. I love sleep. It's like half my cat.
That's fair. So we don't want to get afflicted by sleep ourselves. We want the monster to get inflicted by sleep. And Palomu, well, it likes to fly. And please note, I have a sword. As I'm sure you can imagine, flying monsters plus sword equals complicated. So one way you can bring a monster down is what she just demonstrated there, called a flinch shot. Do you want to talk about how those work? Well,
Hey, you got dunk pods.
hang on, I gotta rotate. I don't have them up.
Please. Yeah,
Oh, he got slept.
that's fine. Just focus on Nightshade.
Yeah. So Nightshade has, there are two major ways we can knock a monster out of the sky. The first is damage, and the second is what Rainy can talk more about, which is flinch shots. Baroth just water blighted me. That doesn't happen very often.
That's just rude. Is he leaving? He's leaving. So
really
the
careful right now.
clutch shot I mentioned earlier also allows you to do something else called the flinch shot. Well, the flinch shot is essentially you attach yourself to the monster's face, you slap until you turn around, and then you fire pods in their face so that they run forward and bonk into a wall. This will do 2% of the monster's health bar and do a really long knockdown.
That sleep cloud was in a really awkward place, and it has continued to be so. So that cloud of bluish stuff there is a sleep cloud. That affects monsters and you, and it is awful and terrible, and we don't want to see it, and it's slow, and it's just... Yeah, just don't.
Nightshade's not the smartest cookie. She will regularly put herself to sleep.
Yeah, she will. For reasons unbeknownst to science, but she will. I don't know why it does, but it does. Ooh, that dunk. That felt good. So a lot of this run is kind of adapting on the fly, and because of that, you have to kind of give yourself props when something goes well, because the run can go very, very sideways very quickly. If you don't like memorization, this is a run for you. But if you like handling RNG, this is also a run for you. I will say it took us about it took me about 3,000 hours to get to the point where I was strong enough to do this run consistently, so keep that in mind, but...
I mean, it took me about, like,
600? Yeah.
I don't know how long I've been playing.
Honestly, indeed.
But it's not... Like, it's a difficult and complicated run, but it's not a difficult run to pick up. It's very easy to get into.
Yeah, and, if you want a faster and safer category, the dual HPG category is way easier because you just have so much damage that everything just kind of dies. Categories are split up based on weapon usage because they're so...
Variable.
Yeah, they're not comparable in terms of strength. Like, HPG is legitimately, I would say... For example, most monsters in this game have around 30 to 40,000 health, somewhere in there, so... A fair amount of hit points. Longsword can hover at around... about 100 damage per second, depending on your setup. I've seen HPG kiss into around 600 damage a second. To give you an idea of how powerful HPG can be, or heavy bowgun.
Where?
Oh, it's gonna be coming down to the mushrooms. We got mushroom spawn. It's coming down, I think.
Nice.
So Coral Poke is a great time for donations because the only interesting thing about it is, do we keep it stationary and does it run a lot?
Oh god, it went up.
Oh, did it
Go
spawn up? It spawned up? Okay. So yeah, if you have any donations, this would be a great fight to read them on because it's going down. I just saw I saw the movement arrow. Well, no. Yeah, Coral.
We have no donations at the moment, but let's remind ourselves why we're here.
Yeah.
Our charity this evening is the Equal Justice Initiative, and they are committed to ending mass incarceration and excessive punishment in the United States, to challenging radical and economic injustice, and to protecting basic human rights for the most vulnerable people in American society.
Yeah, good stuff. So, this is also a great hunt for questions. If you have any in the chat if anyone in chat wants to ask any questions regarding movesets or why do we use what we use, why don't you use mantles, any one of those questions in the chat would be a great time for you to ask them because Coral is a very straightforward fight. And it either... Yeah. I should bring up one thing briefly, is something called peak performance. Every armor set in the game has what are called armor skills, and because those skills influence things like your critical hit chance, your attack power, there are certain configurations that just do a lot of damage, and one of the skills that's incredibly efficient, only taking 3 out of, say, 3 instead of 7 slots, which is the comparable skill next to it, takes 7. It takes 3, and it gives you a massive attack boost. So for 3 of your resources versus 7 of your resources, you're getting a massive power spike. And that is peak performance. The catch is, it's only active when you are at full health. So every point of damage we take is time loss, because we're losing that buff, we're losing that uptime on that crazy power boost. The other thing is a skill called Maximum Might. Maximum Might is really cool. Maximum Might will give you plus 40% crit chance if your stamina is full. Alright, we can cap it. Which sounds kinda useless, right? Except several weapons, unlike bow, which is what Randy's using, which consumes stamina all the time, don't actually burn stamina all that much. And so you're able to maintain a massive critical hit chance advantage while maintaining that stamina. Which is why you see that yellow bar is perpetually full on my side, because I don't use things that consume stamina all that much. So I get that big 40% kicker. So maintaining those 2 abilities is going to be the key to a massive, massive amount of my damage. Just as a longsword. Monster Hunter World is super fun with friends. If you guys haven't finished it, I highly encourage you guys to pick it up with friends and just hang out. Like, it's super fun. It's a great party game. And speedrun game. So next up is Barioth. I believe we have a lot to say about Barioth.
He's angry. Have you ever just mixed a Siberian tiger with a dragon with a bunch of hate? And that's Barioth. Yeah.
Barioth is the first monster that I think is like an actual wall for newer players. It's known for straight up just soloing you down because Barioth unlocks the entirety of the 3-star quest category, which is like a bunch of monsters that give you really good gear. But the game doesn't tell you that you unlocked a bunch of other monsters. This is what you're doing? Awesome. Yeah, it doesn't tell you to unlock other monsters. What it does, it just says go hunt the Barioth. What you're supposed to do is go make armor that can let you cope with the Barioth. But the game never tells you that, and it's not ever hinted at, and so a lot of players just keep banging their head against Barioth till they get it.
This game is very loose and fast with its rules and suggestions.
Yeah.
We do have a question in the chat.
Okay.
It says, what is your favorite monster and why is it Pookie Pookie?
It's funny you meme about that. Poke Poke is in my top 5, unironically.
When you get near this wall. Oh. Did you see that cha-cha slide?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I got Tailwind. So briefly, while we're going into this fight, I will answer that question, I promise. I just need to get a little bit of communication done before we do that. So I'm gonna get the white left Poblin. He keeps hip checking. If we can get a lock, then that'd be sweet. Okay, cool. I'll tell him mine. Good bonk, good bonk, good bonk. Okay, now that we have control of the fight again. I would say my favorite monster in the franchise is probably Zinogre. But Poke Poke is definitely one of the better boys in the roster. Just because he's really cute, he's a great learning monster, he's really fun to fight, has simple mechanics, and he's really easy to kind of digest, which makes him a great learning monster, which is part of the reason I have so much affinity for him, is he's just fun. He's just a great monster to learn on. I do. So, Valstrax. Yeah, Valstrax or Gore, I think, is the franchise that actually my favorite. I take that back. But yeah, Kuga's great. So we're going after the tail. I already got that one arm broken. Monster Hunter has a system of part breaks where you can actually break components of the monster to affect their capabilities. Barioth is the first example of that manifesting in a very, very big way. You see how that, and Sarah can hopefully confirm this is being shown on stream. You can see how one of his arms is missing his spine. That big, big spear in the air. And a commentator confirmed they can see that. So that is actually going to affect how he moves. Because that paw doesn't have as much traction, obviously, because it's wounded, right? He's not going to be able to get enough grip. When he's not enraged, which is not very often, he's going to fall over like that because he doesn't have the traction and he can't just maintain that speed. So the game actually reflects part damage onto the monster in a real way.
Did you get face wound?
Yep. Sorry, I got a Helmbreaker coming down, though. That was generous hitbox. Xenograph music is great. Apparently I didn't get hit face wound because I got iced. That's really bad RNG. Okay. Barioth is one of those monsters that will go wrong very quickly. He's kind of showing it off here. Okay. Full wound. And that actually will affect how he performs. Every monster has little mechanics like that. Like, you can actually affect Pukepute's water breath by cutting his tail and breaking his face. And all sorts of the cool stuff. Helmbreaker, please. Okay. One of the side effects of breaking a monster's parts, you can actually knock them over. So if you have a monster that is very zoomy, they got to run around like your cat does at 3 a.m., you can break those parts and hopefully pin them down. Because remember that adage at the very start of the run, CC is king, right? And that's one of the cooler things about Monster Hunter is it actually models the damage you do into the monster. And that's the first example of one of the two memes for the speedrun. The first meme is Helmbreaker is fixed, good meme. There was a patch that was supposed to fix Helmbreaker, which is the big attack I used to come down on. It kind of worked.
I'll say, to be fair, you no longer hit 2 ticks of Helmbreaker. You hit 7 or you hit 0.
It's true. This is true. They fixed the one bug they were hoping to address, which, to their credit, was an annoying bug. But they haven't fixed other aspects of Helmbreaker, so it's kind of, yet again, more randomness. The second meme, well, I wouldn't want to call her a meme, is later on down the run, chat, I'm going to need your help. So what we're going to do is we're going to be chanting, "Let's go Hazel." A little bit down the line, so keep that in the back of your minds when we're going here. Because Hazel's going to put on a fireworks display. We really want Hazel to do as much damage as possible, but she's a little bit nervous being on the big stage, so we're going to have to give her some cheering in the chat. Can we do that?
Also, the other meme is this hunt. God bless Nargacuga.
I was trying to avoid mentioning it.
No. If we don't give him the respect that he desires, he's gonna misbehave.
That's true. Let's go Hazel. Hazel is in, like, the color of someone's eyes. Hazel. I'm gonna need you guys to be chanting it out in the chat coming up during Velkhana, so...
He's
bless RNG. Point of interest.
on slope.
Okay. 8's closest to slope, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So, Nargacuga... Remember I mentioned RNG? Well, this is the first example of how it can go from kind of wrong to catastrophic. This is probably my _1 spot for wanting to reset. I tend not to reset because it's a longer run, but we're grinding ILs, this would be the reset monster of the run. Because he can spawn in
4.
Yep.
4 locations, and he can head in 6 directions from those locations.
And he can do that after being aggroed on. So typically a monster won't run away immediately during a engagement. They'll, tend to stand and fight because they're big bad monsters. Rawr, I'm gonna go fight you, They're big and scary, right? Well, Nargacuga is an assassin. and doesn't like playing by those I'm a big bad monster rules, and he likes to do the thing that cats do, zoomies. He can do this for, I kid you not, 5.5 minutes. No, I'm not joking. Yeah, for sure. Definitely Nico. Great math in the chat from Crimson Nico there. So... You ready?
I don't have anything. You can just hit it. Or, unless you have rocks.
I don't have rocks, but I... Well, okay. I messed up there. I saw rocks in the background. It's okay, we got the claw flinch.
He's on range if you haven't.
Yeah. Pause on me. Enrage. So we can't do the flinch shot on a monster when they're enraged, and Nargacuga's a very angry kitty. And because of that, he's a little bit annoying to try and wrangle. Again, major reset point in the run. It's so far he stood and fought, which is honestly ideal. We want Nargacuga to hold his ground. That's what we want. That's a KO there. So there are several different types of damage in Monster Hunter. There are piercing, slashing, and bludgeon are the three main archetypes, and then there's elemental on top of that, but the three main archetypes that are important for you to know are piercing, slashing, and bludgeon. Hammers, obviously, bludgeon, they're a hammer. And that damage has a nasty habit of knocking monsters unconscious or, wow, bully. And slashing is how you sever parts, like tails and stuff like that. And piercing is how you hit internals for things like Xeno'jiva, where you kind of want to get piercing shots into his internals to do bonus damage. Pretty simple, right? Rainy is wearing a mantle called the Impact Mantle. This is this little coat thing I can put on.
This little coat makes it so my arrows are no longer pointy, they're just rocks. And then they do bludgeon damage, which will knock the monster over.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's effectively a ranged hammer, and its ability to get KOs is, kind of absurd. So once again, you know, we talk about the start of the run, CC is king. Once again, that recurring theme of crowd control is going to save your life.
Honestly, so her set is completely tuned for maximum DPS, which is the final armor set in the game, Fatalis, as well as the new Velconic Gamma set. My set is from Safi Jiva, and his big thing is it increases your crit chance, your elemental damage, and your status damage.
I just mismenued, I'm sorry.
You're good.
There's a little bit of lag in the menus. It's not much, but it's enough that when you're trying to menu at the super high level, you notice.
So my armor set greatly increases my statuses, which helps with me dealing KO, which knocks the monster over, paralyze, which paralyzes the monster, and sleep, which puts the monster to sleep. It's all really self-explanatory.
Weirdly enough, explosions are a status in this game, which is...
Okay, well, to be fair, explosions are a status, not to be confused with explosions.
Yes, because Monhun. So... Just as a brief aside that's kind of funny, because the old route we used a blast weapon. Blast can be applied to a weapon, and whenever you have a blast weapon, it'll build up blast to the target, and then after it fills that HP gauge, it'll explode. Thus, the term blast is a status, which is just fundamentally a hilarious sentence when you think about explosives being a status effect. But, you know.
But then there's also weapons that deal explosive damage, like the gun lance, or the HBG.
Arrow bombs.
The switch axe. All of those can deal explosive damage, which is very different from explosive damage.
Yes. Why are they two separate damage types? I don't know. So I'll just maybe in the chat that it's an element. There's a monster called Alatreon that came out, and Alatreon needs a certain amount of elemental damage to bring it down. Or else it will just do an ult and just kill you outright. It's a DPS check. Well, a lot of the more adamant hunters, shall we say, chose not to do that. They would run blast weapons, saying blast is an element, see, it even says so on the screen. not realizing they were completely and totally neutering their chances of success, and that's where that meme comes from. Is that asleep?
Just keep whacking him.
Okay.
Do we have time for some incentives?
Oh, yeah. Glavinus
we
is
do-
just annoying, so go for it.
Great. Yeah, we do have some upcoming milestones that still need to be met. We're just over 72% towards the Final Fantasy Randomizer Drop Your Weapons incentive, and just over 57% for the Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD Ultra Heaven incentive. And there are some bid wars going on right now that could use your support. The Pitfall costume selection, choosing between Pitfall Harry, Nicole McAllister, Native, or the retro classic Pitfall Harry.
I have to say, runner's choice for this run is retro for Pitfall Harry, because that just sounds deeply hilarious, and I want to see that. So, Glavinus, or as one of my members of chat called him famously, and now I have to call him this for the rest of time, Glavinus, which was just a hilarious mispronunciation. That is now how we pronounce the monster, out of solidarity. Has a gimmick that his tail is not cuttable unless it's been heated up. You'll never see it in the speedrun. If you see him heat up his tail, we messed up. Which is a right shame, because that's his biggest, what we call, hit zone. No, I did not swear there. H-I-T zone. Think of hit zones as armor values, where every part of the monster has a hit zone value, which is a percentage damage reduction on your weapon's power. So, his head, for example, isn't a great hit zone, but his tail, when it's lightened or heated up, is a fabulous hit zone, one of the biggest in the game. So we really want to get that tail heat up if we can, but again, we lock him down so hard he's not going to do it. Oh, F. That hurt. So Glavinus is... He is a wiggly boy, and he's slow, and it's frustrating, but sometimes his fight goes really well, and you just kind of...
He's very poorly balanced. Anytime you kick him in the shins, he just falls over.
Yeah, he flinches a lot. Which flinches are good, right? CC is king. Except when you flinch him trying to rise up a Helmbreaker and then it doesn't actually follow because Helmbreaker walk is a great mechanic. And you just kind of float there in the sky, realizing your sword's not going to come down. And you're just sad.
It's like an anime when the anime swordsman goes up in the air and the enemy teleports behind them, but instead of teleporting behind you, he just teleports somewhere else where you can't hit him.
Yeah, it's really annoying. But hey, this is actually one of my favorite fights in the run, because when it goes well, it goes really well. Tigrex, either Tigrex is incredibly annoying, or he just gets woolly, and he can't do anything. Which is going to be a recurring theme for the next couple monsters. We're actually going to get to another meme monster for this category, which... Toss your... If you have any positive RNG emotes in the chat, anything that's positive and, polite regarding RNG, Brachydios, the monster coming up, is going to be the monster to sling those emotes in the chat. We need that RNG because, oh
double
boy.
mon spawn. There goes all of our RNG for Bracky.
Yeah, there it goes. Rip. So, we should talk about Tigrex a little bit before we do, I got rotate.
Oh, you could have flonked me there.
I didn't trust it. I've had him glide that wall. So, whenever you wallbang, or do the flinch shot, as it's called.
You don't get a jump in.
Something can happen called a wave dash, which is a term we borrowed from Smash Bros, where a monster can just decide that walls don't exist and... oh well. You can't really argue too much with them saying that, because they're ultimately the ones in charge of their own destiny. I do not.
There should be... okay. Go for it.
Actually, hang on. I had to wait for the animation to end before I could cancel it. And when they do that, they don't take the wall damage. They don't kiss the wall and take the damage. They also don't get the knockdown, which is just strictly slower for us. Get 2020 as well, because monsters can wave dash. Yeah, just straight up. They'll just wave dash. Tigrex has the lowest enrage threshold, really, out of any monster, meaning he's perpetually angry. Once again, we're trying to break those feetsies of his to get him to either get KO'd a bunch, or fall on the vines, or generally we want him to fail at his everything. And that's kind of what we're achieving right now. Because his feet are actually a pretty good hit zone. They take quite a bit of damage, and it's worth it. With both broken, now it's just a matter of home stretch. Oh, home breakers fix good meme. Tigrex. Tigrex depends how you want to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced in the Japanese as both during the same interview, so... Ow.
Oh, just...
so, and he's out. Tigrex, why? Why are you being a jerk? Come on, dude.
This way, buddy.
This is the other side of Tigrex, where you can start running around and starting to get a little unruly.
I have a trap down if you can lead him towards it.
Okay. So that's kind of the gist of it. Yeah, they say Tigrex, depending on it. It's two different ways in the interview. Oh, that's actually a sleigh.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah. Well, there you go. 40-second time loss. You guys can kind of see how that works now. Since we have literally a minute of downtime, do you want to... anything else you wanted to go over, Sarah?
Yeah, we do have an update to some of the upcoming bid wars. The next major bid war is the Super Monkey Ball Ultra Heaven character costume. We have Ai, Mimi, Gong Gong, Doctor, and Baby Roo available. Ai is winning right now, so if you want a different character, get those bid wars in towards the donation goals.
Yep. I highly encourage you all to look at that. And one other thing worth mentioning is, for practice, there are tools that will show you the monster's health bar. Hunter's Pie being the best of them. Though, I tend not to run them when I'm doing actual runs, just because that's part of the game and you don't want to know the monster's health value. But there are tools available that if you really want to, like, make sure that you have the monster's health value down pat, then you can, of course, do that and use that tool to do so. Next up is Brachydios. I forgot to split on my end. Brachy is kind of interesting. Brachy has my least favorite vanilla fight, and one of my favorite super monster fights. Raging Brachydios is even more devastating than regular Brachydios. He's just a really strong monster, really cool fight. Super, super dynamic and super interesting. But regular Brachydios is none of those things. How do I describe regular Brachydios? You can use Polydrops for HP value, it's true. How do I describe regular Brachydios? Well, as much good luck in the RNG department as you can muster, chat. We need this fight to go well. I got Mon spawned. So with Brachy, you don't necessarily want a Mon spawn because you can get his roar is long, and he can kind of box you down when you're trying to get your buffs out, which can be a little annoying. It's obviously, better to spawn near him, but not on him. Alright, got stones. I fucked up. I'm sorry. Sorry. I didn't mean to swear. Actually, I never did ask. Is it ones? We're not swearing during this, is right? Is that right? I just assumed we weren't.
I don't work.
Yeah, alright. So the thing about Bracky is he has really bad hit zones. Like, really bad. Which is super frustrating because his moveset is actually pretty cool. He's got like these boxing hands that create explosions, and it's kind of awesome. The problem is his hit zones are bad, he's very tanky, and he's very nimble. This combination of things makes him particularly aggravating to pin down and actually do damage to. Because as you see there, 81 to 51 damage a hit versus I'm used to hitting for 250 to 230. The lore about Brachydios is awesome, but he is just made of yikes. Ow. Did I mention he also has zone control? Because he has zone control. I'm gonna get a round slash for... Oh, never mind. I want to get around for red bar, but it's fine, I got it anyway. Almost with the 10 bits. Thank you for calling out my swearing. That's a running meme.
Also looks like your mother is chastising you.
That sounds about right. Ooh, that Helmbreaker felt good. 190 a pop. So this is kind of how you want Brachydios to go. You want to box him into a corner, and you want to give him no quarter. You want to just make sure he has no options for doing anything in the fight. Because the blast procs he does, well, it's a status effect. And blast, as I mentioned, is really quite powerful. What it does is it does a chunk of damage to you whenever you're struck, or after a certain amount of time when you have blast button, you don't purge it. This is particularly bad because it takes 5 dodge rolls to purge. Which, as I mentioned earlier, I'm using my stamina to maintain 100% crit. Oh, that leave is really rough.
Coming this direction, we're good.
Oh, Tome of Mine. Sweet. Now, we really want to start boxing him down here. He's probably going to be around, based on how the fight's going, I would say about 30% or so. Just because of how the fight's going. We want to box him down even further. Oh, that Helmbreaker did not block far enough. Alright. Because every monster can be captured at a different HP threshold, and Brachydios, this is fairly low. I think we can do it. This has got to be it. Maybe I get the flinch? Oh. The Lords of Helmbreaker taketh, and the Lords of Helmbreaker giveth. Feels bad, man. That was an okay Bracky, but Bracky can be really rough. Yep. I hate to see it.
We got there.
I was grinding Fatalis as an individual run, the TA of Fatalis. I had a Helmbreaker pass straight through his head and do no damage, and I wanted to cry.
At that point, you just put the controller down, you just walk away, and you let Fatalis have that one.
I just reset the run. I was like, nope, rip. Speaking of excited things after the fact, I'll be doing Tempered Ruin and Gigante after this. I'll be doing that as a TA, and last I checked, for the freestyle category I was in, they have a 332 that should be top 5% of the board, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're in the top. You're in the top 10 total.
Yeah,
I
top
don't
10.
know how you are in non-heroics, but that's even tighter.
Yeah, non-heroics is nuts. I have a 332, 41? 44? No, 55. 332, 55. I'm sorry. Still be doing that after this run, but the reason I'm avoiding the topic is Shrieking Lagiana.
It's another flying monster. And there's another one. Shrieking Legiana, like we call her sister, who is slightly less shrieking, although she shrieks just as much.
Yeah. How many of you have had that roommate that always has their friend over? And they're always screaming?
She's gonna be up here.
Yeah.
Which is better for us.
That is Shrieking Legiana. It is one of those fights that, again, it either goes really well or goes really badly, as becoming a recurring theme in the run. Shrieking can do Ice Blight, which affects stamina, and which is bad for both of us because Rainy uses stamina to do dashes around and fire shots and do damage. I use stamina to maintain 100% crit.
I'm Ice.
Yeah, Ice Blight is a absolute catastrophic thing to have happen to you, especially on the bow. It's bad on longsword. It's real rough. All right, regular again is already here. It's gonna be one of those. And that can really be frustrating. Oh.
Shrieking's still in the air.
Yeah, she's not coming down. Never mind.
Yeah,
I
she is.
stand corrected. So Shrieking is one of those monsters that, again, we want to make sure we got that snowball going early. Picture these. If you've ever played Magic the Gathering, every game is a game of mono red. Oh, wow. I thought she was gonna roar. Every game is a game of mono red. You need to get that tempo moving or else you're just gonna suffer.
I'll say early game, it's really just about layering damage and CC and not letting the monster do anything. Past a certain point, it's not up to you anymore, and you just have to adapt.
Yeah, this Lugiana, for example, is giving us 2 air patterns in a row and no landing pattern.
Let me put on impact.
That Helmbreaker walk. Okay, I should actually explain Helmbreaker walk, shouldn't I? So Helmbreaker walk is a mechanic in which if your blade during Helmbreaker activation, that little slidey forward stabby thingy I do all the time, if it hits the tip of the weapon, you will get a walk. And that's fine. Because it means you track to the part you hit, you just kind of follow after like that. Sometimes, more often than I care admit, it doesn't do that. And it will just decide, I'm going this way now. And it's really frustrating, and I can't tell you how many PBs I have lost to that mechanic. Lugiana's capture threshold is only 15%, which is really rough, because it means that you have to burn her down pretty far before she can be captured. Monsters tend to have anywhere between 25 to 10% capture thresholds. You just kind of have to know that off, memorization. But it absolutely can be super frustrating. So.
Okay, regular Legiana, shut up.
Goblins are fun. Goblins are great. I'm glad that the magic example works, because we're affected. Rainy and I are basically playing two separate styles that are kind of very complementary. I'm playing an aggro, she's playing control, and
No, don't say it like that. It makes me feel terrible. I hate blue.
you're not playing blue. You're playing black control.
Alright. Poison counters.
Yeah. So basically, food's good. We're using our two different styles to regulate the fight through different mechanisms. Rainy's using your status effects and CCs. I'm using my damage to create knockdowns and CCs out of those openings. If you want to know the theory behind the sets we put together.
I'm saying, because 90% of the time I'm playing healer, because like this is a pretty common stream game for us, and we like to help people out through some of the harder hunts. So I try to make sure people, get through it safe. He's in center. Oh, you're here too.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, Fulgur. Yeah, this run's had some dicey RNG. Yeah, so Rainy's kind of become my right hand, in the sense that as a streamer, she's the hunter I can trust the most, which is why when we did the speedrun, I couldn't think anyone else better to back me up.
Do we have time to talk about upcoming milestones?
Yeah. Hey!
Yeah, our next milestone at $2,000 is the Final Fantasy randomizer Drop Your Weapons, which once that is met will force the players to drop the 3 best swords in the game and or prevent them from picking them up. Get those donations in to see that. This is for the original NES Final Fantasy.
It's gonna be hilarious. I really want to see that. Also, thank you for the gift sub.
And then immediately after that is the, at $2,500, the Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD Ultra Heaven, which basically unlocks the hardest levels in the game. And if you don't know about Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, it's already a really difficult game. So once that's met, a bid war for the character selection will be enabled.
I can get stones. That sounds like fun too.
Yeah, monkey ball at top level is
Nuts.
it's a thing to behold.
Yeah. If you ever want to see someone abuse physics even more than my weeb longsword attack where I jump up in the air and come crashing down, watch Monkey Ball. They abuse physics in ways that I didn't know could happen. It's great. Oh hey, tail cut. First tail cut of the run. So, Fulgur has a quirk, where its tail is a very, very good hit zone. I don't know why it is, but it is a fabulous hit zone and one of the better ones we get to play with in the run, so I do try and go for the tail as early as I can.
And we do have some donations that just came in as well.
I see. No, Avalanche. Oh, well. Welcome on in, Raiders.
And welcome on in 50% Gaming with the raid. Much appreciated.
I just want to point out that this is the second raid from 50% Gaming today, so effectively this would be 50% of the raids he's done today for us.
Or
That's awesome.
100% of the raids he's done for us.
This one specifically is 50%.
It's fun, yeah. Good job,
Do
man.
we have some time for donations?
I do want to bring one thing up real quick, and then I'll pass it back to you. Next up is Acidic Glavenus. If you've seen Glavenus, you've seen Acidic Glavenus. one thing worth noting about Acidic Lavinus is he does do defense down. So, pretty much past this point onward, deaths can happen. They're very unlikely, but they can start happening. Because monsters are having things like defense down or anything else that would cause you to take a lot of damage very quickly. So, with that, Sarah, I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, we have a $10 donation from Video Game Roulette that says, "Can we get another $10 hype train going? All aboard! Choo choo! Good luck, Freya, and you're gonna need it for the Runer." And a $5 donation from G Virus Oowoos that says, "For the monster Ooh." And we also have a $5 donation from Faded Away that says, "Choo woo, Monster Hunter hype."
Oh dear. So, does chat want a teaser? Should I tease chat? I'm gonna tease chat. So chat, the Temper Ruiner Renegade incentive that was met, I hope you guys stick around for it because I kid you not, more than 1,400 practice runs attempts, of which about 400 of those actually cleared, just to show this monster off.
And that's a 5-minute category.
Yeah. So, to quote a good friend of mine, hold on to your butts. It's gonna be great. And it's one of those fights that I absolutely can die on. I have died on. I have carded many a time in that fight. It's tough. So I hope y'all are excited for that. Gyros, please stop blocking. So, if you guys want to get a hype train going, in the name of Ruiner, let's get the hype train.
I will ooh woo and oh whoa for donations.
Oh, well.
I'll tell you what. I will ooh woo once for... I'll tell you what, chat. I'm gonna challenge you. If someone can toss more than 50, I will ooh woo on stream.
And if someone tosses more than 100, I will chug a shot of strawberry Nesquik. And I'm not talking mixed with milk. I'm talking like just the syrup. Because, you know.
Alright. I respect it.
If I'm gonna die from diabetes, people are gonna have to pay for it, though.
That's... You know what? That's fair. I can't even begrudge you that. That makes sense. Yeah, I will legitimately ooh woo on stream. I will even, if someone makes it a 75, I will do one of my voices that I'm doing for a current voice acting project for you, chat.
Are you ready for the most sultry uwu of your life?
Most sultry uwu in your life.
Hi, Odogarian.
The murder weasel's involved.
He likes to do that sometimes.
Odogaren's a murder weasel. Don't worry about it. This game is awesome. Fred has a great sultry voice. Well, there you go. There's the vouching from the chat. JLC's heard it. He knows which character I'm talking about. That's my challenge to you, chat. Turns computer back on. Oh dear. So yeah. So, and Sarah, let me know, if that is met. I will do that between quests.
I just challenged them to. I will read their donation in either a sultry, amazing voice
or a cute little anime voice if they want me to.
Let's see if I can pull that voice out on a lark here. Watch it, girl. I'm your future. That was not.
I'm just here to kill Mom.
That's fair. Yeah, that's the voice I'll be reading that in. So I'll have to take a drink and stuff to make sure it's not, you know, destroyed Throatland. But I'm down.
You know, I actually think Odogarian helped more than he hurt.
Yeah, I'm gonna level with you. That was 3 seconds off gold. So that was good.
Can I get thank you, Mr. Odo Garens in chat?
Odo Garen, the blessed Blade Weasel. Oop! Hey! Mom gift sub. Speaking of Sister Result Land, we didn't get to see a Bursa. I'm sad. I'll have to explain Bursas, I'm sure.
I mean, I don't think any of them have a burst then. Break.
Glavenus has a Bursa.
I mean,
Burst
ones that
something,
we like monsters we have left.
That's true. Alright. Ebony Odo Garen. AKA even more Angie Blade Weasel. So, Odo Garen is based off the Kami Itachi of Japanese mythology, if you're familiar with the mythos. And they decided that he wasn't angry enough, and they made an even more angry form of the Blade Weasel. Ebony has terrible hit zones, deals Dragon Blight, which is terrible for her because Dragon Blight nullifies elemental effects. So it's one of the worst debuffs to have on you. And in general is just very squirrely. He's difficult to pin down, and he likes to jump around and move and flip and spin and do Blade Weasel things, which is cool, and it's a great fight aesthetically. It is also a terrible fight to manage. I'm gonna have to too.
I have a rock.
Oh, Clutch Claw. Okay. So, Clutch Claw, when you're on the monster, you can move different parts. You want to, of course...
I need face wound if you can get it. So
yeah, I bet. And... so I don't usually wound 3 times in a row. Against Odo Garen, I kind of have to. Because, once again, part breaks. You mentioned this during Burial, it's going to come back again to fruition here. We want to break parts to blow limbs out, to get knockdowns, to slow him down, etc. That is the only way we're able to really pin him down, is by getting that damage. Because Odo Garen has a unique mechanic where... oh, he's a super zoomy boy. Where if he gets knocked down and he's enraged, he can choose to ignore that enrage. Hey. Oh, okay.
Mom's on a roll with the gift.
She is. So, shoutouts to Allness, JLC, and Fade for showing up, and Nico, and all my crew. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for making the appearance. And Mom and Dad, too. I don't... shout out to my peoples, all of you. So, I've been friends with JLC now for approaching a decade. Thanks, Wolverine. Hopefully the RNG isn't too bad. So, something else interesting about Odo Garen is every monster has their own knockdown duration. Odo Garen's can be 0, i.e. he springs back up and does a counterattack, or it can be like 7 seconds. So, you want to get those knockdowns. That was a 0, for example. That was a 0. If you saw him flinch and kind of scrabble away, but he didn't stay down. Alright, Count. What's up, Sarah? He... ooh. The Helmbreaker gods were kind that day. Alright, I think we can cap it.
Let me know when we have like 10-15 seconds. I just want to show how serious I am about that whole strawberry syrup thing.
We just finished up the quest. If you want to pause timer,
awesome.
we can
Oh no, I'll just put on the camera. You keep doing your thing.
Okay,
It'll
cool,
be
cool.
just a couple of seconds, but
This is serious business.
Serious business.
oh yeah. So, just so you don't think I'm just playing, I'm just saying. I believe that's a double shot right there.
You absolute mad lad.
So, like I said, every $100 dono, this goes down the hatch. Rinse, repeat.
Please make sure you're
'Cause
well
yes.
hydrated.
I am prepared.
Okay. I've learned the hard way, don't tempt chat, and this is tempting chat.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna try, but it's gonna cost them. Diabetes for charity. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Alright.
Next week, NoReset will be supporting a diabetes charity.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe like the Save G Virus's life because of the previous marathon's charity.
Allness, oh dear. Oh dear. Also, so, remember at the start of this run I asked chat for you guys to do a thing for me. Who remembers what I wanted you guys to chant?
Alright. We are all
Hazel,
set.
go!
So, I will say when, and I will begin chanting Let's Go Hazel, at which point, chat, I need you guys to join me in chanting Let's Go Hazel, because she is going to be doing mucho grande damage with a stack of fireworks while looking the happiest she could ever look, and it's a thing of beauty.
Imagine if a cat could wield fireworks in real life and all the destructive prowess, how happy that would make them. They really captured that in this game.
Yeah, it's great. It's really funny.
I need a dash juice, so we just need to lure
Okay.
her over here.
So the Volcano strat, I hit you instead.
Hey, check out these rocks.
You're really-
We have a donation.
Oh dear.
It is a $100 donation from Jal Bagel that says, "Take my money and take that shot."
Alright,
What have I done?
that is the sound of a
I was
broken
expecting
man.
at least one, to be honest with you. I was expecting at least one. I mean, I poured the shot.
Yeah, fair.
All right.
That is the sound of a broken man. So Hazel has a cannon. Well,
Oh, that's damage now. That's a perfect time. Hey, Hazel.
alright,
Cheers
chat.
to Dal Bagel.
Cheers to Del Bagel, and while we're doing that, chat, I need you to cheer with me. Let's go,
Oh,
Hazel.
man, this is disgusting.
Let's go, Hazel. Let's go, Hazel. Look at that little volcano. Look at her go. Look at her go. Let's go, Hazel. With the damage.
G-Virus, it looks like you're gonna have to get another one ready.
Holy sh!
Let's
Okay.
go, Hazel.
Because we have a $100 donation from Allness that says, "Sultry voice, ooh, and syrup. Oh, I'm claiming it all."
Oh my god.
Allness, you absolute mad lad. Alright, I owe you guys a sultry uwu. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, you are owed a sultry
Alright.
ooh.
I will do that after this Volcana.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna cap this shit at 10 because I'm really gonna die.
That's absolutely
Just
fair.
in case.
Yeah.
Just in case. Here we
Hey,
go.
that's G-Virus drinking all that down slim here.
Oh my god, other damage down.
A glass of milk, Celesta? Way ahead of you.
It's okay. You're just making chocolate milk post drink. It's fine.
Oh no, I'm literally chugging down the carton. No shame.
I respect that, really.
Now I'm,
Smaller shots, I don't do half measures.
I'm thinking of the whole restaurant.
Is that a flimp? I should explain flimping. It occurs to me. That is a flimp. Oh wow.
Leave.
That is already a flying limp. Alright. Alright, so because this Volcana is actually kind of fire, and I might want to update the split, I will do the Uwu, after this fight. Hold me to that, chat.
Howdy.
Hi, how's it going?
God.
Are you okay? Sleep? Well, there it is.
Man, I love the art in this game.
Right?
G-Virus,
Yes.
you gotta get another shot ready.
I know, I saw. Mari pouring it.
A $100 donation from Moya Sophia that says, please don't drink that quick ox brasé.
Stun's close.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
And damage down! Oh my god, this might be a PB Volcana.
Hey, I mean, it's you know...
What the actual truck was that?
It was the strawberry syrup.
That was a
I
god tier Volcana.
you know, the syrup is hyping up the run. I mean, it's manipulating RNG, I'm guessing.
No.
Oh
It's
my
the new buff item. That's quick syrup. You know, at the beginning of the hunt, your hunter they use the demon powder, the demon drug, and then the Nesquik strawberry syrup, and both of those together increase the base damage by 100.
I want you to know, we just made up 3 minutes.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. Well, what better way to celebrate than with that shot I have to take? I mean, I guess I'm the one who booked my own funeral. But...
That's insane.
Cheers, my Sophia. Tabarnak.
That's fair. Alright. I think I'm owed this. Let me get down into the voice. Ooh. There you go. Do that as chat demands it. Alright, seething basil juice. Seething basil geese makes me feel like G-Virus feels right now drinking all that strawberry syrup.
It's for a good cause. And I mean, yeah.
Dude, same. I will do more things in that voice if chat demands. Or other voices.
I'm gonna need another carton of milk if this keeps going on. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I mean, me being an idiot gained $300 for the charity, so I'll take that.
Wouldn't it be sweet if you could just be an idiot and just make $300?
Yeah, I mean, well...
This is the internet after all.
This is true. Milk run. Can we have G-Virus not run hospital percent, please?
You know, I really love Left 4 Dead, and I used to speedrun Mercy Hospitals. I mean, checks out.
Stream stuttered during ooh woo. Aww.
They would like you to ooh woo again.
Okay, that's... I will do it after this basil juice.
This what?
Okay. Allow me to explain. Basil geese. Basil geese is modeled after a B-52 bomber. And for all of...
Not a B-52, he's the other one.
Oh, that's right.
I don't remember.
He's a bomber.
No, it's stealthy.
And... the joke is that his name sounds like Beetlejuice. Or Beetlejuice, or any combination therein that the internet decided was funny that day. So.
I call him Sleazy Bagel Goose. Can I get a face one, please, and thank you.
Oh wow, I hit that round slash. Alright. Did I sleep?
I got you.
Okay, I need to get Gauge real quick. Alright. Use this guy to extend my combo, and round. Good, got the hit. Oh, that wasn't a bonk. Sadness. See you, 50. So the biggest thing that's interesting is about this fight is that there's lots of explosives. He is a very zoomy boy. And he has a lot of meat points, but he has very big hit zones, which makes him kind of, you know, he takes big dabblage, which is great. Sorry, that's an in-joke with the community.
That was a really clean shock cover.
Oh yeah, Hazel pulling extra weight. Once again, underestimate the Palicos and you'll regret it.
She's such a good cat.
She's a great cat. So yeah, any questions in the chat about what the French toast were doing? Like
Hunting? I mean, we're hunting monsters.
Alright,
Someone said French toast?
yes. I want
Yeah, for the strawberry syrup.
yes.
No, that would be maple syrup. Actually, I have so much maple syrup. Like, I'm so Canadian. I should have been chugging that stuff instead. That I would literally, like, pay to chug instead. It would be the other way around.
Well, don't tell chat that. Just say, oh man, I have this really expensive, fancy, super strong and rich maple syrup, and if someone donates $100, I might chug it. It's crazy.
I know.
Ooh, tail cut. I mean, chat has already proven they're willing to make you suffer, so just tempt
Well, I
them.
mean, here's the thing with the maple syrup. It's probably even more dangerous, despite it being probably less harmful than the Nesquik. It's probably more dangerous because I'm just gonna keep chugging shots off camera. Donations or not.
I respect your honesty, my friend.
We do have a question in the chat that asks, what's the difference between these blast pods and those on normal Basil?
Oh, so the biggest difference is the blast pods on normal Basil Geese only have one mode. They have the kind of red pine cones of doom you see laying around, and those are kind of dangerous. The seething Basil Geese, well, he gets so angry they turn purple. And it's kind of the whole thing. When they turn purple, they have a larger blast radius and a much faster detonation rate when it comes to big areas of effect. And they are known to kind of chain together, and that's what makes Basil Geese so dangerous when he's actually in the speedrun. All memery aside. I would put Seething Basil Geese as one of the few monsters that can and frequently does actually get a kill. The other one being Black Veil Valhazak, which, it's not going to be serious time for Black Veil, but we are going to have to focus a little bit more on Black Veil because Black Veil has a passive that can actually just cut your health in half. I'm not even joking. It can cut your health in half, and then his attacks can do about a quarter of your health in damage, which means you can be 2 or 3 shot, and that's where he becomes an absolute disaster and a really tough fight. Black Veil is probably has the highest kill count, I would say. You think?
I think Shara does.
Maybe Shara, yeah. Maybe the final boss. So, he has the second highest kill count, second only to the final boss.
They're really close.
Yeah. So... that's fun.
I just want to point out that 3 more shots and we've met the Final Fantasy randomizer incentive. I'm just saying.
That's fair. Alright, we got Forest, Hazak.
Nice.
Yeah. Alright, I just had voucher. So food's gonna be good whenever you eat.
If you could do me a favor, Black Veil, and spawn an 8, that would be much faster, and I'd like that.
We do like Forest Fall. It's just a better spawn.
And 8 is better than 11, because there's more running for him to do at 11.
Yeah, it's only better. So we're actually down to the last 3 monsters, by the way. So, that's fun. These are 3 Elder Dragons. Once again, the chant is going to be Let's Go Hazel. During a knockdown, she's going to be doing...
Center.
You center? Okay. That's actually not bad. That's not a terrible spawn because you can get boulders. Yeah. So, one thing worth pointing out, a lot of this run is teamwork. You can run this category solo. I have. It's brutal. Because monster health does scale in multiplayer. but it's far easier to gain in net DPS in multiplayer because of the coordination you and your partner have than it is to gain in, say, single player. Because if a fight goes wrong in single player and you miss a Helmbreaker or whatever, that's rip run, right? You're just behind. So that's kind of the struggle of single player versus multiplayer. I would argue the multiplayer hunt is far better for a new hunter.
I got
Could
it.
you? Okay, you got Claw. Cool. Let's go, Hazel. Tear it up. Let's go, Hazel. Look at her. Look at her. Little firework.
And Walhazog is weak to fire.
Yes.
He's not.
Let's. Oh, the para. Let's go, Hazel. Let's go,
if
Hazel.
If we weren't gonna get copyright strike, I would probably cue some Katy Perry right now, and it would be like perfect.
That's fair. Hazel is a star. She does legitimately every single time she does that. I want to emphasize this. Blackveil, for example, has 45,000 HP. Hazel unironically does 3,000 damage during that duration. It is bonkers good DPS.
Whoa.
Let's go, Hazel. Oh my, what? Oh, that damage down into stun. Let's go. Yeah, so Palicos unironically do a lot of damage in this setting. I have red. Coming down.
He's turned at the last second.
Sorry.
You're good.
Ow. Okay, that's
Ow.
that half health debuff I told you about. I have to back out. I can't keep fighting that. I'm just gonna get torn apart if I stay in that too much longer. So that's the first step, me having to heal. Wait. Oh. Let's go. Got the bonk. Okay. Para's close, I bet. So I got roared there at the very end of my Helmbreaker animation. You can actually lose Helmbreaker early. I'm gonna get hit by that. Yeah, just have to take what I can get out of that. So welcome to Blackveil. As you guys saw, I'm already chunked down to 1/4 HP with one breath weapon because of the half health reduction, and also just the damage from the attack itself as well. So that's just really, really rough. Ow. Kara's gotta be super close. Come on, Hazel.
That's on Allie.
Come on, Allie. I know you have one more para in you. Let's go! Allie with the para.
I'll say Allie's assistance is a lot less flashy, but she does just straight up deal 15% more damage.
Yeah, she does. Linger hitbox and the Tsuyuki got me. Alright. This Blackveil's not looking too good. It's Tsuyukiing a lot, which is kind of rough, but it's probably pretty torn up. Damage down. So here I just... The only thing I have to do at this point is to ride out the Effluvia. I can't peel it off. I need to just ride out the damage and bring this fight home. So if I pop, this is when I'm gonna die.
No pressure or anything.
Ow!
And we're less than $300 away from
Good
the Final
night.
Fantasy randomizer.
Whew. As you
What a
can,
fight.
that fight is stressy.
The butt clench was real.
Yeah. So
I was
that
getting up from my chair and the chair was following. That's how bad it was.
So, that debuff is called Effluvia. I'm sorry to cut you off, Sarah. I'll pass to you after I unclench. Whew! So that sucked. But that was actually a really good black veil. And Sarah, you were saying? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, we just got a $10 donation in from Rainy that says loading screens. Ooh woo.
Ooh woo. That wasn't very good. Only ooh woo. There we go. That was far better.
Here, let me pitch in.
Ooh woo.
Oh my.
I don't know.
If you guys want more deep guttural ooh-woos, we are, as I was saying, less than $300 away from the Final Fantasy randomizer drop your weapons incentive.
That's awesome.
A $10 hype train among a small portion of the people in chat this evening could bring about a deep guttural throat ooh-woos.
I don't know what I'm a part of, but I'm okay with it. Wait, no. Wrong tier.
Oh, I could do my shonen protagonist, Uwu.
Please don't. I love you.
I mean, it's for charity, right?
It is for charity. It's true. It's true. So, before we get too far down the Uwu rabbit hole, next up is Namielle. There's not a lot to say about Namielle aside from, like, her hit zones are terrible, and
Unless they aren't.
unless she loses her water armor to something called Elder Seal. Now, every weapon in the game has either has a neutral affinity, i.e. it's, or a neutral element, i.e. it's raw damage.
Make sure she doesn't leave.
Yeah. I got aggro. Or an element. Or an element or status, sorry. Sorry in advance. Alright, it's okay. And my weapon, in particular, the Fatalis Zagaspanen, yeah, I don't know how to, like, sugarcoat that to me, has Dragon Element, and it's a thing called Elder Seal. Elder Seal will seal the special ability of any Elder Dragon if you're able to build it up. I'll show you the name of the weapon after the run, it's really silly. That was a wave dash, yeah. She arced, right? And Elder Seal will cause her water armor to disappear. We want that as much as we can because keep bonking, or are you? Okay. Because we want to make sure that we actually are able to remove that water armor. Oh my goodness. Let's go, Hazel. Look at that placement. Look at it raining down on Namielle. That's beautiful. That is actually perfect RNG for where she landed. And the para. Yeah, Namielle is a water and electric dragon, by the way. She is a dual type, and it's really makes her difficult to armor against if you're just starting out, because she does both of those damage types, and does water a lot, but electricity infrequently, but the electricity attacks are big, making them very difficult to not get murderized by. There's the Elder Seal. You see how her body's no longer shimmering with water? Oh god. Oh yeah, I was looking at that. And we'll take the damage down. So, I could purge this with Water Blight, but unfortunately, I need to land that Helm Breaker for the damage down. So I have to just rely on natural stamina regen for a moment here to kind of burst that down. Get the head break, round. Menu and a Dullberry. Right, now we're Water Blight. Catch her on the rotate. I'm gonna wound this front paw here. I wouldn't ordinarily do that, but I really want to get a knockdown if we can get it. It's only... So every part of the monster has a set number of HP.
Keep going.
Okay. Plus 400 damage there. And that HP is represented by not only a single bar, but multiple layers of break. So, for example, the head on Namielle has 5 layers of break, and it's about 2,000 HP per step of break. Fully broken parts take more damage, and generally speaking, well, usually take more damage, I should say, and generally speaking tend to get a knockdown for the hunter, which is why we like going for certain parts to get a trip or whatever. And that should be all the details on Nami. Oh wow, Hazel with that. Hazel coming up big with that stun. Look at that volcano just doing some damage. She's so cute, look at her. She looks so happy. So one of the things really awesome about Hazel doing those fireworks, she's invincible.
And you can still get aggro.
Yeah. So attacks will just swing into the abyss while she's holding that firework. Unironically, Hazel does, again, 3 to 6,000 damage every single monster, and this monster has 44,000 health, for example. Give or take, so around 45, like most elders. She's doing a lot of recurrent attacks, so one thing Namielle can do is she can create those currents. And those currents are honestly worst case scenario. I cannot believe that Helmbreaker worked. Nice. That's Nami.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier favorite monsters. I think Nami's my favorite.
That's totally fair. Namielle's awesome.
Yummy.
Are we actually at the last monster of the run already? We
Oh,
already
no.
at Shara?
We're the second to last monster.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Namielle's armor is straight up Splatoon armor. It's great.
I've always joked about doing a Namielle armor cosplay and seeing how many people call it a Splatoon cosplay.
Are there any more Uwus and or VG virus torture donations? So yeah, that's Nami. I was not expecting this run to go this well.
So the big thing is there are 3 animations your hunter can do at the end of the hunt. It's very important, and one of them is giving a sausage to your cat. And Hazel, I just want everyone to know that Hazel got a sausage for that hunt.
Yeah.
She's a very good cat.
All right. Next up is Shara Ishvalda. Because of the way that Monster Hunter works, Shara Ishvalda is a rotating quest. There is no optional variant without adding a mod in. And its spawn, I kid you not, the end boss's spawn is random. The run could just end here. That's not fun, so we do have a mod to add it.
Although this is an event quest, so it's here anyways.
Yes.
For the next.
Ruiner is not... Ruiner will happen, don't worry. Don't
The
worry.
big thing is, Ruiner is a solo hunt. Shara's not.
Yeah, Ruiner is solo, which means you couldn't do it in a group. The other problem with Ruiner is part of the incentive. So. That's why we're doing it that way. Also, the Ruiner you fight isn't actually a full power Ruiner for the hunt, so it would be... it's a different version of Ruiner. He's got a different health pool, different moveset, all that fun stuff.
It's really just a baby.
Yeah, I think it has like 15k? That's tiny.
Alright. Ooh. That's a good Shara.
Alright, good spawn. Yeah.
The big thing about Shara is there's rocks in this arena.
The rocks in the arena do, yes,
little bit of damage.
damage. So the big thing about Shara is Shara has, I believe it's 81,000, somewhere in there. It's more than 80k at least, HP. And those rocks can be triggered twice. Those rocks do 6,500, or yeah, you'll see the number here as it comes down. 6,500 damage. So you land both of them, that's 12,000 damage you don't have to do. And that's just a huge part of the time save for this hunt. Yeah, you were, DLC, that was pretty good. So the thing about Shara that's kind of interesting is there is, in fact, a soft lock on Shara. You can do enough damage to him that his HP gauge will stop moving. It's at around 40k health left. And this damage is big enough, we might actually hit it. Depending on how good a rotation is. So you actually don't want to over-damage Shara. Which is weird to think about hunting a monster really quickly, because something's going to happen. If you guys haven't seen the end boss for Shara of Monster World Iceborne, you're in for a treat. So Shara is very weak to two things. He's very weak to poison, and he's very weak to blast. Oh, we'll find out here in a second if we got the soft lock. I think we might have gotten it. The soft cap. No, not quite. Okay. He's still acting normal. So you can tell we got the soft cap because... Oh yes, pay attention to the eyes. Dang, Shara, that's crazy. Later. So we actually use an item we haven't used all run called a Farcaster. The Farcaster allows us to jump immediately out of the fight and restock. Now, ordinarily, I'd stay down there and keep doing damage, but that animation down there takes a long time, and it's slow, and it's boring, and blah, blah, blah. Plus, we kind of want to synchronize how we land, because the second part of this fight is very important. This is where all of our strategy comes to a head. The biggest thing you want to focus on is Shara Ishvalda has a massive head hit point pool. It's... I want to say it's something along the lines of, like, 16k. It's ridiculous. But Shara doesn't have very high arm health pools. Only a couple thousand by comparison. And so what we're trying to do is get as many knockdowns using his other body parts as possible. Breaking the feet, for example, will cause cause a knockdown. Breaking the head will cause a knockdown. Breaking the wings can cause a knockdown. We're trying to minimize the amount of time he spends shooting lasers everywhere, because lasers are slow and they hurt. I don't like being shot by lasers. I don't know if you do. I don't. And that kind of becomes the center point of this fight, is keeping him on the ground with as much burst damage as possible. Like, whenever an arm is ready to break, the biggest thing to do is make sure you don't burn your resources right before the break. Unless you know you're gonna get the break. Oh wow, Hazel. Let's go! So Hazel...
I asked, did my cat just break the arm of an Elder God?
Yes, is the answer. So once again, Hazel's looking there, slamming damage home. Let's go, Hazel. One more time in the chat.
And also, if you guys are enjoying this Monster Hunter run, the final milestones for this entire speedrun marathon are actually 100% on the... We've got 3 Monster Hunter milestones.
Oh, yeah.
Jal Vega will be running them if we hit that. If there's still a chat.
Oh, yeah. If Jal is still in chat, I want you to know that I'll at minimum be catching the VODs of those. I'm super excited. Oops, I missed a Helmbreaker. I rotated that badly. Oh! There is more Monster Hunter coming in the marathon, for sure.
If we hit those milestones.
I believe in chat. Alright, so we're going for the second arm break now. That step really hurt me. So that's the second foot break. We didn't actually get a knockdown out of that, which kind of sucks, but... So as Shara gets to about 25%, you'll know because his eyes open up, he gets a lot more desperate and a lot more ferocious. This is really where he starts racking up kills. He can absolutely become really dangerous very quickly. Because Shara has a unique ability. Every monster can combo you. It happens in every fight. Shara doesn't just combo you. He wombo combos you, posts it to Reddit, and then gets 1,000 karma, and then you're just kind of sad, and it's just all in just a rough time. And that's Shara's... Well, there you go.
I'm not gonna lie, I lagged her a little bit in my computer. My game
Yeah, Shara has a lot of AoE and a lot of big hits that send dirt everywhere. Also, he has a Kamehameha. You know, just has that. What's up, sir? Oh, God. I gotta roll that.
My computer's slow.
Yes, this is most of all research you can imagine. The other one is going to be what if you had none of that, and both categories are super cool. John, I don't know how much you want to spoil, but what weapon are you running? I'm curious. I don't know much you want to talk about what you're doing. I imagine HPG for the sake of sanity, but if you're a mad lad running a Blade Master weapon, I so much respect. Just switch axe?
Wow. Okay,
that's rough. Okay, so Shara is playing really quite nasty here. I need to be really careful about how I handle this. Yeah, definitely catch Shell Bagel's run. Oh, he's going Nova. That's Nova. So you want to stay up there and restock, that's fine. Ooh, I may have made mistakes. The only safe spot is right behind him. And I rolled it. No, it's at 20k. Let's do it, chat.
Well, we are 88.61% towards the Final Fantasy randomizer. Drop your weapons milestone incentive.
Oh, come on. Do it. Do it, chat. That was a come on at the game, not chat, but... You know what? Yeah, come on, chat. Do it. You won't. You won't. I'm challenging chat. Ow. His back legs are pretty wounded. I've been banging on him for a while now.
And if you're not familiar with that incentive and what that means for the Final Fantasy one, that means that they have to drop all the best 3 weapons of the game, which is the Mazmune, Excalibur, and Vorpal Blade, and they cannot use them or sell them for money.
That's why I play Longsword. So now that Shara's in his death throes, look at his eyes. I'll see if I'll get a shot of this real quick. Look at him. He's looking at you, not the hunter. If you ever want to creep yourself out, stare at that for more than 30 seconds. It's great. Nice knockdown. And now we just gotta bring it home. Philip missed. Nice. Wait, time. What?
So is this the last monster, or is there another one after this?
There's the incentive monster.
But
The
that
incentive monster after this.
That's a 3-minute PB. I just PB'd at NoReset.
lol.
That's a 148. 148.07.25. Wow. So this run has come down by 40 minutes since submission.
Wait. Let's look at Hay.
That is... We still have the incentive monster. She is so cute.
Yeah, we still have the incentive,
Oh my god.
which was met.
Yeah.
Alright, for your incentive, do remember to leave Allie behind.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. So, I'm gonna say this hunt is gonna be focus mode. This particular next hunt is one I've been grinding for a couple months now. This is the Tempered Ruiner Gigante. Now, actually, I'm gonna bring my more conservative set, because I don't want to get caught. Tempered Ruiner is interesting. All the monsters we fought have been typical variants of the monsters, and they've been easier versions of the monster. Well, Ruiner, in particular, deserved a spot in the highlight reel. This particular quest is called Ode to Destruction. This fight averages for me about a 418, a 409, somewhere in there, depending on the day. I'm not going to stress time. It is entirely possible I might cart. It's entirely possible I may have to try this run twice, because it is a super boss and it can just flatten me. So, heads up there. I'll be doing this solo with no Palico. And the reason for that is it's actually safer without the Palico. Because Longsword as a weapon is reliant on counters and heavy counterplay and precise timing. The Palico adds an element of randomness that makes the fight very hard to control. So, are we ready with the incentive timer?
Let me check with G-Virus. Give me one moment.
I did not expect the... Yeah, 40 minutes is crazy. That PB is nuts.
So what was the final time?
Our final time was a 148.07. That's a 3-minute PB.
Oh.
Yeah, same. I'm like, oh, it'll take us 2 hours. It'll be fine. We'll have marathon luck. It'll be alright.
And you saved all those splits? Because we're probably going to have to review that.
Yeah, I have the splits here. They're all updated. Alright, let me know when you're ready with the incentive timer. Actually, this game has IGT, so if the timer isn't ready, it's not a big deal. I'll check the time of the other one. Actually, before I do that, this is the set I'll be using. This is a very, 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 very aggressive set. Centered around big damage. If you want to build this set for yourself, feel free to do so at home.
And if you need any set building advice, help, or just help get hunting the monsters to, kill the things, you can hit us up.
Yeah, I'm always on my Discord, and Monster Center is a great community, so just find any of the streamers and it'll be good. She's checking with setup.
I'm just waiting on the go-ahead from Tech.
From?
But in the meanwhile, let us discuss some of our sponsors while we're waiting on that. One of our sponsors is Chasing Rat Games, is proud to team up with NoReset Games to bring their critically acclaimed debut game, Struggling, dedicated speedrun and practice modes. An update for Steam is coming soon, with the Switch version update coming later this year. Keep an eye out for the special showcase this Saturday.
Alright.
Alright, I'm ready for the cooldown.
Alright. So, this is going to be Tempered Ruin or Nergigante. It's going to happen on fight load. So I'll go ahead and count us in. Are we ready? It's going to be in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. So, I'm going to try my best to explain through this fight instead of going quiet like I did last time, because I want to make sure this is understood. Tempered Ruiner can hit me for anywhere between 50% to 75% of my health with a single swing. A lot of his attacks are scripted at certain health values, so the variation in terms of monster size is a huge factor as to when this run goes right, when it goes wrong. It's a very dynamic fight with this big, handsome boy here. Okay, backup strats already. It's fine. Keep your head on. So, I'm trying to get Yellow Bar as fast as possible. Longsword is 3 stages of empowerment. Red Bar is the top. We always want to maintain Red Bar when we can. But sometimes, it's not possible. So what I'm trying to do there is I'm baiting out counters. That foresight slash you see me do where I slide backwards and come back down. Oop. Okay, back up. It's going to give me what's called a foresight, a round slash. Ow. Already countered him. Alright, cool.
And welcome in the raid from Icy Dragon 1986. Thank you so much for that.
Okay, got the flinch. So because of a new balance change in Monster Hunter World where every single wound you do lasts for 3 minutes to 90 seconds, there's a new decoration called Shaver as well. We abuse these two things for the speedrun incredibly a lot. Like, they're a huge part of our strat. Oh, I couldn't force it that fast enough. Okay. At this point in the fight, because I've lost control of his tempo, it's all about control. He's giving me bad rotations. There's the first part. Wait. Helm. Follow in. Wow, this is a particularly mean Nergigante today. He's in a bad mood today. I'd have reset by now in most runs, just as an FYI. Great hype, by the way. So Nergigante has 3 main things you have to control. Him, his spines, and his head spines. Okay, that's Pepega. This could be a countdown of 3, 2, 1, roll. That's going to give you the secret to dodging that attack. We're going to come back down on the head here. Hopefully blowing a part out. If not, we're just going to hope he doesn't zoom me too much. Once again, going for that same parry into hitting his foot to try and blow it out. Remember what I said earlier about part breaks? We have to get the full set of part breaks on the head because you'll take more damage in that location as you break those parts. And also, part breaks are crowd control. Remember, at the start of the run I said, crowd control is king. Same thing applies here to Nergigante. Big Helmbreaker damage, 225 a hit is really good. And let him land. Second part of that swing gives me your regeneration on that spirit gauge to allow me to keep the pressure on and plant that Helmbreaker. That's a horn break, which is really good. I'm not actually going to follow this up with a wound. I want to get the attacks out because after that first horn break, I know my wound's going to last long enough thanks to that rough. Parry the roar. Helm. And go for the trip. After the trip, which is breaking that leg part, remember again, parts are crowd control. Go for the Helmbreaker once again onto the face. I don't need to worry about that. That attack can't actually hit me there, so I don't need to worry. I kind of wish that attack could hit me there. It's actually a time loss for him not to try and hit me because I can't parry that if he doesn't actually connect with me. So, it's actually slower for him to miss. Okay, shoulder check. That's fine. Go for a roar, and I roll that there, we're good. Helm in. Follow it, trace, and brain break. Feels good, man. And good night, sweet prince. And that was Tempered Ruiner. 435, not bad.
And that's time. Thank you.
I'm actually really happy with that. Sub 5 in a marathon feels good.
I'll say that pattern was super aggressive and it sort of dunked on him.
Time?
Yeah, time.
Yes.
And that was Tempered Ruiner Gigante. Final time, according to IGT, was 435, which is how we measured leaderboards. Whew.
And that was Monster Hunter World IceBorne.
Yeah,
Thank you for that. Freya's, is there anything you want to say before we switch you back over?
yeah, shout outs to my parents for guys showing up to the marathon. That's really cool. I didn't expect to see you guys, and that really inspired me. This run is really about showing that anyone, you don't need to memorize everything. Anyone can put the time in, anyone can master a run. If you want to learn this run, my Discord, twitch.tv's FrejasFeather is down below. Go show the game some love. It's the final update released, and the franchise has never been stronger, so give it that love. If you ever want to actually pick up the Nergigante TA, you can also do so by going to twitch.tv/ or youtube.com/TDS, where you can see all the videos and tutorials that I used to pick up the run. So shout out to them for teaching us how to do that. And shout outs to G-Virus and everybody over here at NoReset for having us. It was a ton of fun. 10 out of 10.
Sorry about that.
You're good?
And I just want to say that this game can be very daunting to get into, but we love teaching new people and getting new people into the game. So please, if it looks interesting to you but you're scared, come hit us up. Our Discord's full of nice, friendly, lovely people who all enjoy going back to the early game hunts.
Yeah,
Help
and
them out.
And just to show you the kind of community you have at your fingertips, one last thing before we do go, I wanted to bring up. This game has a nasty habit of retaining players. I have 3,000 hours in this game, and I don't plan on stopping. If you need something to get you through the dark times, highly encourage you guys to go pick it up. And yeah, thank you for having us. It's been a ton of fun.
All right, and right before we switch it over, actually, I would like to just mention, essentially, Jao Bagel might be the one closing the marathon at the end. Essentially, we have a 3-tier final bonus run at the end of the event, which is going to be Monster Hunter Stories from is it Monster Hunter World or Stories
it's
now?
World.
It's World. There you go.
Yep, he's doing
Because we had stories in the submissions, and I kind of got confused there. But yes, Monster Hunter World's right there in the schedule. I need more coffee. That being said, if we reach $20,000 by the end of the marathon, then Zora 1% will be unlocked. And then if we make it to $22,222.22, then it's going to be Zora 2. And if we make it all the way to 25,000, then it's going to be Xeno %. So make sure to keep those donations going. Tweet, share, far and wide, so that we can support the EJI and make sure that they get all the help they can get, helping people who honestly have the deck stacked against them with the justice system, if we can still call it that. And just thank you to everyone who's been showing up so far. It's been it has been a day, I'll say that, but it's always worth it with everyone in chat, each and every single one of our hosts doing a tremendous job, all of our runners. That feels like the speech I would give at the end of an event, but I mean, I just felt like saying thank you everyone for being here with us on this crazy adventure, and you know, looking far back how we started and where we are now. Honestly, it's just it blows my mind. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, for sure. And if you guys thought this one was crazy, hit that incentive. Jal Bagel is even more of a mad lad than this run was, so it's gonna be awesome.
And that will be the end for me for hosting this evening. I will be handing over the next 2 runs over to Zombie Punk
to take over. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for everything, for that amazing, and also thanks for being there with me for the diabetes percent run. That was I appreciate it.
Get some veggies or some protein in you. You've got too much sugar.
Oh, I got beef jerky next to me. I'm good.
Okay.
That being said, thank God I had some milk because I needed to wash this down. But not gonna lie, the third shot was a challenge.
Oh yeah. Ooh woo. There we go.
Oh, woo.
I may be a 10-year-old boy, but I have the power of friendship and something even stronger. Ooh woo.
Oh my God.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Let me just